So I just want to cover the setup for these somersault squats. These have done amazing things. I call them I basically call them a closed chain leg extension. Just to talk about setup, I actually prefer using the narrow stance overlay. I don't have it on here right now, but that's my preference, and I use it with 25-pound plates, small diameter. But here it is. I'm going to set up again. There's no exact right or wrong answer. My toes are right about at the X. And then I'm going to this front hole. This front hole is my preference for the somersault squats because it's going to help your knees translate, more knee translation forward. What you're trying to do with this is just think knee extension, knee flexion, where I'm not going to come up using my powerful hip extenders. I'm just working the knee joint. So I get down, I got to find that position, have some beat up knees, and then I'll start thinking about knee, knee flexion and extension. I'm not going to come all the way up. I do high reps of these, about 20 reps. The more your knees can translate forward, the better. I'm limited in how far I can go forward, but believe me, my quads are lit up on these things. I usually do 3 to 4 sets of 20. Band tension is preferred. Some band tension just makes it a little bit more controlled, a little bit more fixed. Sometimes I'll even grab this. I'm not really pulling up with it. I'm just helping it pull me down to get a little bit more knee flexion. But that's the setup. So I just want to cover, squatting on squat max. I'm using extension pin. I prefer a vertical shin squat, a glute dominant squat, because my knees are so arthritic. Having my knees translate way forward is just going to finish me off. So for these vertical shin squats, where I like to sit back and I have the box set at the height I want, I'm going to use the hole in the back. The hole in the back is going to let you push your hips way more back. What's nice about the extension pin is it lets me set up in the back of the platform so I can take a more narrow stance if I'd like, and it moves me away from the handles. But just to show it, I'm going to going in the very back hole for these vertical shin squats. My toes, you can't see them, but my toes are right at the X, maybe slightly behind the X or just touching the X. And then I'm going to push my hips way back, and I'm going to go way back, and look, my vertical shins or knees over ankles. So this is my predominant way to load the hell out of this thing and not hurt my knees. I also like holding a kettlebell. Now I'll hold 35, 40-pound kettlebell to get some upper body stimulation and then up. So if you're really chasing hypertrophy, do these with a 4-second count. So 4, 3, 2, 1, barely touch, come up. 4, 3, 2, 1, right there. So these are my main way to squat with these vertical shin squats. Obviously, if you want to quad dominant squat using this extension pin, use the hole in the middle or hole in front, and that's going to translate your knees forward. Let your knees go forward. Or if you like the middle hole has behaved just like a barbell high bar squat. So the middle hole is still a great place. You'll have to find your foot positioning, use the middle of your feet at the X's, and let your knees translate forward if you're chasing more quad. But again, these vertical shin squats are what separates squat max from all other belt squats. Because all other belt squats, they're anchored with a cable, they're anchored with a lever. So when you sit way back, that force isn't going into your glutes and hips. That's shearing through your spine. So that's the difference. Thank you. So here's the setup for this extension pin. You probably can use the middle setting. I like using the extension pin, and I like using a narrow stance overlay with 25s. That's going to allow me to have enough clearance on these because I really want to push my hips back. So what I'll do is, again, it's personal preference. I'm going to go in this very back hole in these, and my feet are my toes are a little bit past the X on these. Here's the trick. You got to really get used to how you grip these handles. On the leg that I'm working, I'm going to work my left leg here. I'm going to take an underhand grip on the left handle, and I'm going to take an overhand grip on the right handle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on pushing my hips way back, trying to touch that pad that I have on the top of the platform. Again, I'm going way back, touch, come up. Here's the key. You got to maintain a tripod foot. You don't want to be leaning back and pulling yourself up with the handles. I'm stabilizing with these handles, but I'm not getting 50 pounds of help from these handles. I'm just using the handles again to stabilize, and you got to work on, you probably need some internal rotation on your hip to keep that load. But the bands will help this from twisting. This is a very powerful exercise if you can master it. Some of you have such jacked up hips, it's going to take you a while to master this, but this is the skater squat setup, and it's a great movement on Squat Max. Thank you. So the question comes up about band tension. Is band tension mandatory for Squat Max? It's not. Many of the powerlifters that use this to break world records in powerlifting don't use band tension for squats. The band tension, why it's great for Squat Max, is there's multiple reasons. The little band tension, obviously, it gives you more decompression at the top because you can handle more weight at the top than you can at the bottom, so that accommodating resistance. But what it also does is, you'll see a lot of people, their belt is way up on their lumbar. So you'll see when I'm setting up on Squat Max, I got some band tension on here. You'll see, actually when I set up on Squat Max, you'll watch me after I hook into the hook, you actually see me holding the belt down. So that band now is grabbing that belt and helping keep the belt from riding up my lumbar. So you see that belt staying down on me. So that's another reason for the band tension. But the band tension is needed for single leg movements, certain movements where you have a little bit of rotation. Squat Max is a free weight, and what the band tension does, it actually makes it a little bit more fixed, a little bit less omnidirectional, which is important because most people have a side-to-side difference, and they're not gonna pull evenly with both legs, and the band gives you a little bit more control. So I recommend some band tension on the majority of your exercises for those reasons. Thank you.